Okay, let's begin. Time, one of the biggest factors. What am I going to talk about now? Well, here we go. Three things. I kind of put them into a category that relates to time. One, goals and or moving targets in your life. Two, risk factors. And then three, your mindset as time goes on. Let's begin with the goals and or moving targets in your life. So for me, and for most of us, I think as we become adults and we get older, we have different factors that change the way we kind of should look at not only our assets, but also our expenses. And what I mean by that is things like getting married, having kids, considering buying a house, your kids going to college eventually. These are all kind of people's different life goals and or moving targets, but they occur at different points as you get older, obviously. And each one of these factors will have a certain impact on both your assets, your liquid net worth, and your expenses, right? So, for example, once you get married, if you get married, there's possibly two incomes now, and maybe less expenses because now you are sharing those expenses with somebody. If you have a kid or two or three kids, well, I think any parent will tell you they don't come for free, so they definitely add to your expenses. And then also, think about a house, think about when they go to college. Every single one of these things can change your plus and minus that we've talked about, right? So, again, that's also a good reason to consider doing a financial health check at least once or twice a year and just make the appropriate adjustments because things happen over time. Things change over time. The second part about time we're going to talk about is risk and how we should be looking at it as we age. And basically, if I just took a typical recommendation from what most mutual funds and or 401k plans kind of talk about and recommend, is that once you're younger, you want to have an aggressive growth mindset. And as you get older, you want to be more conservative. And these are just simple pie charts that you could kind of see that kind of represent the mix of growth versus conservative investments. Usually what a mutual fund would do is, if you're an aggressive growth mindset, it'll be almost 95% stocks and maybe 5% in cash or fixed income. And then as you get older, as you gain more and more assets from just, say investing into the 401k and that eventually getting bigger, you want to kind of reallocate towards more of a balanced approach, which means it'll be kind of getting safer and less risky. And eventually, by the time you get to retirement age, you want to be mostly in safer assets. And these dark blue would probably represent something like a bond, as opposed to the light blue, which would be stocks, which were considered high risk. Which comes to my last part about time and that mindset of going from a growth mindset to a fixed income mindset. So for this last section, we're going to talk about stocks and bonds. And the question has come up many times for me where I don't know what a bond is. Well, you're in luck because for the next video, you can either choose to go to see what the difference between a stock or a bond is? Or finish and let's find out the answer to the first question about Uncle Abe and whether we feel he's okay to retire or not. That's it for this video. Catch you on the next one.